Pac-12 Women's Soccer is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. And welcome back to Los Angeles. The Washington State Cougars, with a top 15 national ranking, will take on the UCLA Bruins at the outset of the Pac-12 schedule. Time now for our State Farm Here to Help Life Go Right highlight. Last year in Pullman, Tammy, the Cougs defeated the then #2 Bruins 1-0 in a triumph that was pegged as the biggest upset in program history. They'll be without their keeper, Ella Diedrich, tonight. Unfortunately, she's lost for the season with an injury, but she was sensational on this night. And Megan O'Neill had the game winner against the Bruins.
Yeah, what a celebration it was at the end of the match. They know how important that was. Anytime you can pick one up, watch the emotion. The absolute emotion, and you're defending your home pitch and you knock off a team as good as UCLA. What a special feeling it is. And it's a team, JB, for the Cougars that feel like they are on the road, but they are ready. This is a good countering team. They hold the ball well, but they get after it with good pace. They will challenge UCLA, who has been nothing less than rock solid in this non-conference.
Yeah, both sides without their top keeper tonight. Tegan Micah, a late scratch, injured during the warm-up. So Lauren Brisky in goal for the Bruins. Rachel Thompson for Washington State in this showdown of ranked teams, the Pac-12 opener.
I saw Lauren Brisky last week against Pepperdine. Saw her play for about 45 minutes. Really like what she brought to mining the net. She had good hands, very good energy. I thought it was her energy that really impressed me right out of the gates. And like I said, good footwork, good handwork, and a good vocal leader.
The Cougs didn't waste any time finishing their non-conference. They scored 2 of the fastest goals in program history over the weekend. Less than 2 minutes in against Montana. 2.5 in against Cal Poly. We'll see if they can get the early start again here against UCLA. And those of you watching volleyball on this Friday evening, welcome to the conference opener in Pac-12 women's soccer for Washington State and UCLA, both ranked in the national poll. With Tammy Blackburn, JB Long just underway here at Wallace Annenberg Stadium. Ashley Sanchez on the through ball, looking for Monica Rodriguez trying to get the cross, will settle for the corner instead as 2 Cougars go spilling. Here's the starting 11 for Washington State and UCLA.
They've got Sanchez, Rodriguez, Mace. Watch out for number 16, Haley Mace. What a special player she is. You like what they have lined up in the midfield. Pay special attention to Olivia Athens. I like her play and love the way that she kind of steps up, steps in, and kind of can break up the attacks if you want. And of course, we have seen what that solid back line can do. And Karina Rodriguez, this week's Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week. For the Washington State Cougars, JB, it does not dip off. Morgan Weaver, Alger Bennett, who will sit up top. Listen, this is a team that may run a 4-4-2, maybe even a 5-3-2, depending on how they step in, but they've got goal scorers.
Not the opening corner that Annika Rodriguez wanted. Players shaken up are Maddie Haro and Kaya Minnis, by the way, for Washington State, both able to play on.
Both of these teams play in formations and have depth in these positions that allow their formations to attack or defend. So in other words, they're adaptable, if you will. Strength in the midfield. They also use the width very, very well, and that's where you probably will see some buildup out of the back, using the width, the space left to right, and they move north to south based on that. So it'd be interesting to see how these two teams with their formations kind of change. It's probably going to be fluid for most of this game.
Haro will take the throw. The Cougars unbeaten on the year, having won 7 straight, tying the program record for consecutive wins both in a season and to start a season, set in 2015. One of these years we're going to sort it all out and vote Washington State a little bit higher in the preseason Pac-12 poll. They were ranked top 25 in the country, but only picked 7th in our league, Tammy.
Well deserved. And I think when you see what the Cougars have coming back and the success that they have had, even just take a look at what they were able to do last year. How would this team respond this year? And they've answered that question well for their coaching staff. They have responded well. Sheehan
trying to hold the ball, passes it back a level to Kaya McCullough, using her center back to keep possession in the forward half. UCLA tonight not only missing their keeper Micah, who was shaken up in the pregame, but also J.C. Peterson, Marley Canales, and Jessie Fleming is already with the Canadian national team for World Cup qualifying. Mace playing her final match and then off to national team duty next week. And Tammy, to your point from our opening segment, Boston College and Washington State, the only two remaining women's teams without a loss or a tie.
Yeah, coming into the week, Washington State was one of just 6, and now it's whittled down to 2, and there they stand. And Boston College, with that 9-0 record, they're about to get ready to face Florida State on Sunday. So that was going to be a huge matchup for them. They obviously are going to get sprayed with goals.
Look at the pace here up top from Washington State, trying to catch an early goal, and it sails over the frame.
This is where you would expect to see Washington State. You see that counter there. Now UCLA having the ball in their forward third of the field, right? And the counter going right over the top. That ball is able to get away, and that bounce, just an errant bounce that goes over the head of Karina Rodriguez. Washington State using the pace up top to put pressure on the Bruins.
Morgan Weaver leads the Cougs in goals with 5 shots on goal. She's tied for number 8 all time in her program in career goals with 20. Nearly had a 21st to give her side the early advantage at UCLA. Mary Carmen Reyes and the Bruins able to settle and possess. Kennedy Faulkner on that opposite side, playing left back tonight. A takeaway in the attacking third for Washington State, and they give it right back.
Nice step in. Very good defense. Washington State looked to square that off, but that step in beautifully executed there by Villacorta.
Marvelous footwork by Ashley Sanchez. Center of the field finds Annika Rodriguez. Backtracking to keep it, Sheehan. She drives central. Looking to link up with Weaver. Now UCLA on a scoring barrage to round out their non-conference. 3 goals in 3 consecutive matches. Most recently that 3-0 triumph at San Diego State on Sunday night. Now a nice week of training in preparation for the league schedule. And the first foul goes against the Cougs. Elise Bennett's a sophomore. It's a balanced attack for the Cougars. 9 different Washington State players have scored the team's 18 goals on the year. 6 different players have notched game winners. So even though it's Weaver at the top, they could not connect with her there. Now the primary finisher, there are secondary waves of scoring to be certain for Washington State. Through the midfield, plenty of pockets for UCLA to hold possession. See if they can get in that final third. Todd Schulenberger now in his 4th season, very proud of what this program has become, the tradition they've established in the non-conference they had.
Obviously building a great program up in the Pullman area on the Palouse. Great field that they're playing in. He says he's very excited. A lot of people come out to watch great women's soccer, are very proud of the program. And this team, he understands, has athletes. They're deep. They're good on the counter. We talked about that. This is a great test for them, JB, and he knew it. He was talking about how key this is to start off with the team of the caliber of UCLA to get a good test early on.
Spin on the laces of Annika Rodriguez a lot to begin this match. Able to connect with Mace. She drives end line, now cuts it back. Wow, what a play by Mace. Off the woodwork and saved at the goal line. Everything but the finish for the Bruins.
Oh. Exciting from the buildup. It starts as Mace chases down the ball, and then watch this nutmeg right through the legs. Ooh. And then just a nice technical pass there. Hits the post. Oh, that's what you call unlucky if you're UCLA. Great save, great defense coming back by the Cougs. Oh, the footwork of Mace. This is why, folks, she is leaving to go play and gets called up with the U.S. national team.
Keela McLean played at Long Beach Poly, her prep soccer, so a Southern California native.
I love the pass after Mace made the move. I mean, I think that's what you have to look at, is that's the type of player she is. And her player was getting in position, just unlucky off that post.
A high work rate from Weaver. A big hop into the midst of Lauren Brisky. A redshirt freshman. She'd played 135 minutes in a couple of matches. Coming into tonight, no goals against, no saves. Backing up Tegan Micah.
Looks to me that Washington State in that 4-4-2 formation. Amanda Cromwell thought maybe they might put up a 5-3-2. This is a Washington State team that can work a number of different formations that they have been playing. But Amanda has seen many of the formations in her time there. There she is, JB, her 6th season as the UCLA head coach. Of course, that 2013 national championship in her first year. Last year's national runner-up to Pac-12's Stanford Cardinal.
Tammy, she's certainly shorthanded in terms of the players unavailable this evening, but she also knows that she's not going to get any sympathy from around the Pac-12 the way that they recruit and the depth that they have on their roster. Back into the area by the Bruins and cleaned up by the Cougars. Feels like she's due a goal after sending one off the frame early. Working with Mary Carmen Reyes, and the Bruins lose possession.
Lucky for Amanda Cromwell, though, that 5 Bruin players were able to make their college debut just last week against Loyola Marymount, September 13th. And a bunch of them played against San Diego State just a few days later. And those are the minutes that she's looking for, knowing that she is without some key players.
Brianna Alger there holding her ground, forcing the Bruins to take their throw. Stepping up, Kaya McCullough. A crisp passing through the midfield for the Bruins.
Yeah,
10 minutes in.
Villacorta doing a good job as she kind of sits right in front of that back line and looks to switch the field of play. Great pitch awareness, I think, by Villacorta.
Off her line, Rachel Thompson, a native of Nikiski, Alaska. About a 3-hour drive from Anchorage, based on my pregame Apple mapping. After 2 seasons of junior college, she joined the Cougs last year, did not see any action, so this is a career opportunity for her, stepping in for Ella Diedrich, someone they felt was one of, if not the top keepers in the Pac-12. The good news is Washington State responded well without Diedrich, scoring 9 goals in 3 matches without her already. Sheehan looking end line with this pass to Sanchez, and the Bruins back to that right corner.
Again, the footwork, and look at, they try to go inline. UCLA pushing and pressing as much as they can. Set piece opportunities good early on for UCLA as they want to try to get in behind that back line of the Cougars.
A goal and 4 assists so far this season for Annika Rodriguez, who will send her second corner. She picks out a target, looking far post. No chances off the first 2 corners for UCLA.
Great thing for Washington State. You had talked about them scoring goals. They also defend very well, and they don't give up a ton of goals. When you take a look at their schedule, in fact, just their last 4 games, they've given up 3. Last 5 games, they've given up 3. They're 4th in the Pac-12, 30th in the nation in goals against average. Just about 0.5, a little bit over 0.5. So they're getting respect, JB, around the nation, not only on the defensive side of things, but this is a well-rounded team here, the Cougars are.
And Coach Schulenberger was curious if they would be able to build on last year's success, come into a new year with some momentum, and that's exactly what they've done, returning 17 letter winners, bringing back 93% of their scoring from a group that advanced to the NCAA third round for the first time in Washington State history.
9 different goal scorers on the season. The depth of their offensive depth chart is impressive.
We'll get some width with Rodriguez down the right flank. Steps over, now serves, in fact hit it on goal. A
good
clever
idea.
move by Rodriguez to have a go.
Clever and a good idea. Just maybe trying to catch Thompson off guard. Sometimes you got to be crafty, right? It's about being unpredictable a little bit in this game.
Well, surely UCLA knows it's Thompson's first Pac-12 start. Right central back, McCullough. Sheehan with a run that's interrupted by Haro. And a foul against the Bruins. Nice work there by Maddie Haro, a senior from Corona, California. Back in the Southland.
Haro's looking up in the air. I mean, it was a great tackle there. Good stop, not afraid to step in. Well, you see her ability to be a playmaker and set her teammates up, as she has 8 assists on the season, which ranks second in the NCAA, a local product here from Corona, California. And you see a lot of Cougar fans here in the stands. We expected that. Their roster is got quite a few Southern California players.
A big night for Washington State athletics here in Los Angeles. Over at the Coliseum, the Cougs and the Trojans on the gridiron currently under the Friday night lights. An errant pass picked up by Gamera Stevens, who has 2 game-winning goals already this season. That's shoved away by McCullough. So the better of the ball so far to the Bruins, but the Cougars have also had their chances. Oh, that shot denied at the top of the 18 and sent in to Lauren Brisky.
Villacorta takes a hard knock with that ball. It's a tough shot from the outside by the Cougars that just went tough off of Villacorta.
Here's some pressure for Washington State, and they do generate the turnover. Chested down by Alger. They just can't hold it in that attacking third. Chance for the Bruins to break out. Ashley Sanchez veers to her right. Sanchez to the area, and now end line.
Did you see that Sanchez, UCLA starts from the back there. Sanchez with the ball on the front of her foot runs right at the Cougars. They are just on their back foot, and they have got to get back and try to stop it. And then Sanchez with the quick move right around the defender. She loves to do that. She thinks she can beat most defenders in this league. She's not afraid to try to make that move go around. She gets all the way in line, split those 2 defenders. She's got great speed. Ashley Sanchez, a tough player to have to mark. You have the dubious task of trying to defend that line right there. 2 goals, 1 assist this season already. 11 shots on goal, which leads the team. She's coming after you.
How about 4 assists in last year's NCAA tournament, taking her team to the final. Set a UCLA freshman record with 12 in her debut campaign. Megan O'Neill getting involved for the first time. She had the game winner against the Bruins last year on the Palouse. Now a senior. UCLA winning the ball back easily so far in this opening half. 18 minutes gone. Reyes getting forward. No teammate on the end of that pass. Haro going to play a bit more direct. Mace will get a throw for UCLA in the quick re-entry. Just 4 matches played for Mace so far. 2 goals, 4 assists, 8 points to lead the Bruins in her limited time. And she's about to depart again for national team duty. The center backs do their job, playing through Brisky.
Dangerous play here for UCLA. Washington State was pushing forward on that counter, which they like to do. There's the pace and the physical play up top. The Cougars are not going to back down. This is a team that's not afraid. They'll go head-to-head, 1v1. They'll match you physically. We know that is the Todd Schulenberger way.
Weaver was asking for a foul there. She was giving just as much as she was taking.
She's a tough, gritty player, strong player. Weaver strong at her core, strong legs, good stride.
A nice find by Sanchez to get some width in this attack. That right back, McLean has already saved a goal and denies another opportunity for UCLA.
The 4 solid line for the Cougars, and then the 4 that sit right in front of him in that 4-4-2 formation, moving nicely, trying to keep shape. UCLA trying to find those open channels.
Bennett had her mark and is shaken up as she tried to get the clearing header. Her keeper there, Rachel Thompson, attending to her.
This is tough here because this is Maddie Haro, number 19. She just gets mixed up there with their arms, and then looks like just it was the late finish where she goes down hard late. Ball's already out of play. Took a tumble head first. There's your solid defender at 5'6", your senior.
Delaney Sheehan trying to get onto the service. One more look from behind goal.
Look on the left-hand side. You'll get a much better look. Ball's already back in play, and it was a head first tumble to the ground. Looks to be okay.
A nice pass to O'Neill. See if the Cougars can build a little bit. I'm trying to find Weaver up top. Good pounce by Brisky. Finalist for Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2016 before joining UCLA.
When Amanda Cromwell decided to start Brisky at the beginning of last week's game against Pepperdine, she said, I want to be able to get Lauren minutes. And what you're seeing tonight is the result of Tegan Micah going down in injury and just getting banged up a little. She can't go. So is Lauren Brisky ready? Yeah, she's had some good minutes. Those 45 minutes bode well for her experience. Once you get that first touch of the ball on your glove and you get the jitters out, I thought Lauren had a great 45 minutes in that match. All the more important here as to why when a player goes down, you have the opportunity to step up, like so many other players for UCLA who have that chance.
Faulkner looking for an option, decides to play through her keeper. But that pressure created a turnover, and the Cougars looking to settle in their attacking third. Yet to really test Brisky. Faulkner tied up at midfield will take the throw. But first, the first substitute of the match is UCLA's Sunny Dunphy.
So Faulkner comes off, and Sunny Dunphy, we've seen this substitution before. Sunny Dunphy comes in. I like this player. I talked quite a bit about her. Tall, ball winner, physical, great addition as a substitute. You can get 20, 25 good minutes if you want out of Faulkner. Put Sunny Dunphy in and, continue to substitute. These substituting patterns very beneficial for Amanda Cromwell. Here is some of the depth that you will see for UCLA with this substitution.
I tried to get her involved in the attack right away, didn't they, with that cross field diagonal pass, and now a foul and a whole lot more from Haley Mace.
Yeah, this is the two of them just mixing it up a little bit. Just a little shove, but then Haley Mace doesn't like that her shirt gets grabbed.
No question, league play is here.
Gomera Stevens just gets a little chat from our referee today, Adam Zarin.
UCLA wins that header. Second ball to Haro. When May steps onto it, the whole park just kind of settles in, doesn't it?
I wouldn't mess with Haley Mace. I mean, you saw that little scuffle there, friendly little scuffle, no big deal. Just tough, gritty player. I mean, you're talking about a player that has and will continue to play against the best players in the nation. As she continues to branch out and play around the world, she will see even better players. And that's what's going to continue to make her grow and develop into just a remarkable soccer player.
A pass intercepted by Haro, just as UCLA had found a way out.
Great effort.
And Mace able to bump O'Neal off the ball. Wow. Impressive by Haro. High level here. Olivia Athens gets in on the action. And now Rodriguez driving. What a pass. Heel flick offside to deny the goal.
And the UCLA fans can't see the flag and they didn't hear the whistle, so they think the goal stands. They'll be shocked to know when this one comes back, but it's just beautifully, it's set up on that right-hand side. Folks, this is great soccer. Watch this, the heel flick. Athens, I told you when she was being introduced in lineups, I love this player. She's crafty, but unfortunately that solid Cougar back line gets the call and the offsides.
Breathtaking nonetheless.
Oh, it was fun. Two very good plays with pass sequences that were impressive, JB. Nonetheless, right here on the right-hand side, so the build-up right in the middle section for UCLA in that middle third, and then the quick movement up the field on the right-hand side by those front runners, and it is great passing for the Bruins.
It's kind of midfield restart starting to pile up for the Cougs. They have the potential to be dangerous. Headed away by the back line at UCLA. Out to Gomera Stevens. As she reverses field and now gives ground and gives away possession. UCLA at full speed. As Sanchez waiting for a wave of support. Now the through ball. Properly weighted, but it skipped on Rodriguez. She shoved before she got in line.
Well, you saw the speed of Sanchez. The ball right on her foot, and she's moving, and she knew that she had to get somebody down to be a target. Annika, while this is happening, Annika Rodriguez is on her right, and she just played that ball as well as she could, but she had to hold the ball and slow down a bit to get some support. Nicely done by these two. Nothing happened, but still nicely crafted.
The field is a bit slick tonight as the temperatures cooled. You and I were down earlier. It was almost humid.
A little slippery, a little moisture on the pitch. Ball's going to skip a little bit.
Look at Mace. Wow. Beats two Cougars to the ball. Wants Rodriguez. She lets it through one time and saved. Athens arrived with the left, and Thompson did well to send it high.
Yeah, nice dummy played there. Now you see again the passing sequence. Mace. There's a dummy play there, just beautifully read by Rodriguez, and Athens is following up, and you know that they are very familiar with who is behind them, who is positioning themselves, very familiar with their runs, and you like how Mace held onto that ball long enough to allow that to happen.
Sanchez will send it in. So three corners and not much made of any of them for UCLA. Their better chances have come in the run of play.
Remember Rachel Thompson, JB, for the Cougars. Her first start, she's a redshirt junior. She is 5'9". She is getting tested by UCLA Bruins. Wonder what she's thinking right about now. She looks solid. She looks good. She punched that one over the crossbar. But you know she's got to be thinking, oh boy, here come the Bruins.
Former two-time All-State selection in basketball. Played some volleyball as well. Big opportunity here at the outset of Pac-12 Women's Soccer League play. 27.5 minutes gone. We're scoreless in the opener. Min is playing over the top. Weaver backpedaling. Reyes able to win it for UCLA. They've had no trouble finding Sanchez right in the middle of the park.
Back four getting back as quick as they can for the Cougars. They know UCLA's coming, and UCLA was trying to put numbers forward.
Athens sends it back to Rodriguez. Now Reyes takes over. She wants to change the point of attack. Remember, Dunphy came in as the new left back. She drives central. Taken away by Washington State. Sydney Pulver. Now watch out for Weaver here with that central run. The shot sails wide and right. 29 minutes of scoreless soccer here. Elise Bennett, who has a couple of goals on the season with the shot.
Yeah, so the good news for the Cougars, UCLA hasn't scored. They certainly have had their chances, but nothing happening, nothing finishing there. And the Cougars are trying to counter as much as they can. UCLA has been good about being mindful of the ability for the Cougars to counter, but they work quickly. And rest assured, they're not tired. They've got great fitness. Remember, Todd Schulenberger talked about athletic ability. They have good athletes and not afraid to get after it on that counter. They know that they can exploit some of their opponents here with that skill.
Rodriguez caught by the foul. So from here, we've seen the Cougars throw a couple of restarts into the mixer just to see what happens, see if they can get a ball to fall to feet and frame one up. Haro in position to take it with minutes behind her. The left foot of Haro. Bruins have the first header. Sent back in and flicked on goal, but no trouble for Lauren Brisky. Let's take a look at the conference RPI as we start a new league schedule. Stanford number 8, Oregon, USC, Washington State all top 30. UCLA, boy, you got me 41 with the schedule they've played. Just goes to show I cannot calculate.
Yeah, no, throw your hands up in the air just like I've done. I can't even imagine when you take a look at Penn State, Florida, Florida State. I don't get it.
Nonetheless, their national ranking reflective of not only their accomplishment but their potential. They started the year number 2, trailing only Stanford.
And remember, we've got the number 14th ranked team in the nation and the Cougars in the house. So
look at this run by Sheehan all the way to the top of the 18. Now lays it off. Can the Bruins get his shots? Scooped over to Mace. She settles. She shoots wide left. Bruins knocking on the door here.
Brilliant idea. I love this. I said this last week. This is like the sandwich. Watch this. Here it comes, the sandwich. I think she uses her sandwich, JB, to get that ball up in the air. It's just brilliant. And you know what Mace is thinking to do on the other end. She just wants to settle it down. She's looking at that far post before she knows she even has settled that ball.
Just to continue your golf analogy, that first touch tees it up for the shot.
I love it.
We've seen some brilliant combinations in the finishing third. They just have not found the goal yet.
Well, you know, I think for so long you were waiting for players years ago to be able to figure out, like, what's the matter with being clever and putting the ball on somebody's feet, even if you have to go over the top, right? That's just a brilliant chip shot there. There was no through ball, no angle for her to make a technical pass, keep it flat on the ground. It would have been picked off by Washington State. They would have had the ball at their feet running the other way.
In the meantime, Weaver and Bennett have been at the top and starting to buzz goal just a little bit for Washington State.
I have to compliment the back line. In fact, the 4-4-2, the 4-4 has kept really nice shape as best they can with UCLA coming after them.
Sanchez has had quite a half. Lost possession there at the end. A huge work rate there by Bennett to take the foul on UCLA.
You like a player like Bennett, who just a sophomore is getting such valuable minutes. She's solid at 5'10". She's a great target up top in the formation of a 4-4-2. Solid legs, good core strength. She can flat out run, but she can mix it up with you physically.
And her running mate Weaver with another year of eligibility beyond 2018 as well.
Great partnership.
I've seen a lot of long balls in off the restarts from Haro, but seemingly UCLA always has that first header, don't they?
Dunphy gets it. Yeah, they're ball winners.
Reyes finds Mace. Athens in support. Sanchez looking for a crease. Right back to the Bruins. Reyes, left-footed play, finds Dunphy. Just enough from the keeper, Thompson, to keep it out.
Well, I'll tell you, O'Neal for the Cougars is marking these scores for UCLA, and at times it looks like her head is on a swivel. She is trying so hard, but that time, player got away, and she had to cover on the opposite side. And she came over, but that shot went through for UCLA. UCLA is pressing against the Cougar defense. Take a look at this again and watch and see if you can see number 24 for the Cougars. But that ball gets through, and Dunphy tries to right foot it. How about the great play by Rachel Thompson coming out off her line? Strong confidence by the keeper.
But Bennett will come off for Washington State along with Gamera Stevens deep in this half. 3 saves for Rachel Thompson in her Pac-12 debut. Athens has it back. It was her great pass that nearly led to the goal. Just a one-touch redirect. Again, no Canales, no Peterson, no Fleming tonight, no Micah tonight for UCLA. So 4 conceivable starting pieces not with the team this evening. They have not lacked for technical skill.
Yeah. And we don't know what happened in warm-ups where Tegan Micah got dinged up, but, you know, is there a possibility she could start the second half? We don't know. We don't have an answer to that question. Meanwhile, Lauren Brisky has stepped in for UCLA and done a good job. Another player down here. Push from the back. God, it's a tough fall to the pitch.
You referenced the great student section across the way,
yeah.
Some of whom we can see there. Pac-12 playlist with Kate Scott coming up at our half. It is back to school weekend here finally in Westwood as Thompson cleans up. And I know this because it took me about a half an hour to get from Wilshire to the stadium tonight.
I was going to ask you if you got
weekend.
stuck in the same traffic for the Res Hall opening with these students and their parents. I love the vibe on campus and I love the action. You know, it's back to school here at UCLA, but I may have one up you here when I said it took me about 35 minutes from the parking kiosk to get around. So I was calling the producer, I'm here.
Amanda Cromwell saying that the marketing department did well to make sure that everyone moving into their dorm knew they were invited tonight, that there was good soccer to be had. Haro sends it forward. Weaver couldn't get on the end of it. UCLA has done well to cut off her supply lines tonight.
This is a first look for the students who just came into town this weekend of Wallace Annenberg Stadium, which you and I had the pleasure of calling the first women's game here about, what, 3-4 weeks ago.
Haley Mace had the game winner against Long Beach State, the final seconds.
What a match that was. Beautiful facility.
Yeah, located at the previously named North Athletic Field, where the Bruins played some select home games from the late 60s through to 99. But what a way to open play at the Wallace Annenberg Stadium. This on August the 17th.
It happened quick, late in regulation time. Mace gets chased down, gets at the end of it, blocks it, ricochets perfectly. Look how much ground is covered. Nice block. Stepped in with her left foot. Celebration. I'm telling you, there was 1.5, 2 ticks left on the match clock. Love me the braids of Haley Mace. I wish I had hair that could do that. It'll get there someday, JB. It's coming back in. It's coming back in.
You've looked great at every
All
phase
right.
along the way, Tammy, and we
thank
continue
you.
to celebrate your recovery.
Thank you. I have curly cues now is what I have. Or as my 4-year-old cousin told me the other day, curly fries.
While we were away, Morgan Weaver took the yellow card. You had a feeling that someone was going in the book before this half was out, just based on the chippiness of play. Annika Rodriguez driving.
Yeah, running.
She and the Bruins hunting that first goal.
Yeah, running right back at that back line again.
Sent out by Grace Hancock along the back line. She's a senior member. Villacorta has been instrumental getting some of these attacks built from the back.
JB, I'm not sure if you are aware this last weekend, USC played Long Beach State. Kadani McAlpine, the head coach of USC, thought about the last conference game of this season, which is pegged to play UCLA. So USC and UCLA matching up. And he was so aware and so proactive of what that game might come down to and how critical a time of the year that he had his senior afternoon or senior celebration last week against Long Beach State.
You're kidding.
No, it was truly
senior day in September.
Senior day in September.
That's great.
I have mad respect for that move, changing up the philosophy a little bit, if you will. But he said it. He just hit the nail on the head. It's too much to ask of everybody. It's so emotional. We don't know what's going to be on the line, and it's an enormous vote of confidence.
Rodriguez overcooked that corner, so 4 opportunities from the corner and nothing doing for the Bruins.
It's an enormous vote of confidence in the fact that he really believes UCLA is one of the best teams, and he doesn't want that match to be, littered or fraught with emotion. He wants that to be the best matchup possible. And it was a beautiful ceremony, well done. So many people were out at McAllister Field to see it. I just thought it was a world-class move by Kadani.
We'll talk about the program that Washington State has been. Kadani McAlpine playing a role in that as well. Now the leader at USC. I mean, Stanford and UCLA rightly get so much of the attention, but that next tier of programs in women's soccer, I think, is what makes the Pac-12 so strong.
Yeah. That game, by the way, will be Friday, November 2nd, and it's going to be played at the StubHub Center. It'll be on the Pac-12 network at 7 p.m.
So that match and next week's showdown with Stanford, 2 that you would circle on UCLA's slate.
Yep. That's an early implication game.
In the meantime, unblemished are the Cougars. 41 minutes into this Pac-12 opener. Alicia Overland, after missing all of last season with an injury, Overland's begun to find the form that made her the Cougars' second leading scorer 2 seasons ago. found the back of the net for the first time this season at Nebraska, the game winner. Added a second goal against Cal Poly recently.
JB, I told you before the kickoff that I thought this match might be a 1-0, 1-0, 2-1. Thought it would be close. I didn't think there would be a lot of goal scoring. Two very good defensive teams who take a lot of pride in their defense. Thought each team was going to come tonight and show up and try to make it very difficult for their opponent to score, and that's what's happened here in these first just over 42 minutes of play.
Rodriguez seemingly never fatigued, able to send it out wide to Sheehan. And punch wide, but not clear. Hernandez into the match for UCLA, looking to create.
Great block.
So Julia Hernandez denied a couple of chances. Hernandez with the through ball. Dunphy cutting across and sails it high with the right foot.
Yeah, great move by Dunphy. You like it how she tried to better that ball a little bit, better her angle, better her look.
Well, both Hernandez and Dunphy have made an impact off the UCLA bench. A little short-handed are the Bruins. Rodriguez with the full head of steam will have a go from distance, and so far Rachel Thompson has been up to the task. Final minute of the opening half. Haley Smith playing up top to finish this half for Washington State, spelling Elise Bennett next to Morgan Weaver at the top of the attack. See if they can create a chance before the break. Big throw from Smith. May steps onto it. 1v Cougars with 10 seconds left. And we go to the break scoreless.
Great match so far. JB, 45 minutes. These two teams, neither coming up with a goal. We knew that these two teams come in with pride in their defense. Great back lines. UCLA certainly had their chances.
Let's check in with Amanda Cromwell, and your side certainly controlled the action, nearly a couple of highlight reel goals. What's it going to take to find the net in the second half?
I don't know. I think you have the better view up there to tell me a couple of those things. I couldn't tell. I thought Liv may have been offsides, but that was good creativity, and I guess we have to keep combining through the middle. If we take too many touches centrally, they're such good defenders. They're clogging things up, and we have to find that slip pass on the inside shoulder of the defender instead of trying to always find the runner who's getting cut out. But we got to be better on corners as well. We're, we haven't been dangerous at all, and I think we've run 4 or 5.
Maybe a little bit shorthanded for you, Amanda Cromwell, tonight, but you've had players step in, especially this past week with about 5 players making their college debut. What do you make of the minutes that you're getting from the depth chart?
It's been great. We've had to have players step up. Sometime last minute, we've had 2 players get injured in warm-ups, even one tonight. So you know, that's kind of what it's all about. Who's the next to step up and fill a role and do their job? And I think Lauren did that tonight in goal, and we've had players have to do that. And hopefully, as we go forward, we'll get some good quality minutes here out of some of the bench players, and we can put one in the back of the net.
Amanda Cromwell will let you get to the half. Thank you for your thoughts. Scoreless after 45 here in Westwood. The Pac-12 opener between Washington State and UCLA. Playlist with Kate Scott coming up from San Francisco.
Brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.